Howdy folks, today we're playing Ozilith Counters in March of the Machines Standard. This deck is really all built around the new card, Ozilith the Shattered Spire, which is kind of similar to Hardened Scales in the past if you've seen that. Basically, it's a 2-mana artifact. It says if one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on an artifact or creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters +1 are put on it instead. So if you put one +1/+1 counter on it, you're going to get 2. If you put 2, you're going to get 3, and so on. Pretty cool. And it has the ability to put a +1/+1 counter on target artifact or creature you control if you tapped and pay 2. Pretty crazy. You can only activate it as a sorcery, but that's fine. They have sorcery speed, you know. It would be really good if you could do it as an instant, but, you know, it's probably good that the card has that safeguard on it. In Standard, we already have some cards with some pretty good +1/+1 counter synergies. Evolving Adaptive, just gets +1/+1 counters for, like, everything. Curing Beastcaller, same thing. Casting a spell. Tentacle Brawler enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. And you can get more by putting +1/+1 counters on other permanents. Pretty cool. Semi-Stupid Lampgrim puts +1/+1 counters on permanents. Wandering Emperor gives obviously +1/+1 counters with +1. Loaded Contaminator can proliferate the +1/+1 counters, which I think is really cool. Invasion of Gobakon, its backside can give +1/+1 counters on things that have attacked. Really everything besides like Kodama can give +1/+1 counters, and the Dunescar Warrior. Which actually it can give +1/+1 counters because it's a 4-mana 4/3 with backup 1, which is a new mechanic. When it enters battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and then if that's a different creature, you can give that creature all the abilities. So let's say we have a Kodama on the field, we play a Doomscar Warrior, backup 1 on the Kodama, we put a +1/+1 counter on it, gives it trample, which it already had, but you know that's fine. It gives it trample, and then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library. Reveal a creature or land from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Pretty good value there. So I really like this card. I really like that it's in the deck. And then also Clay Champion, just a huge, gigantic card that also enters battlefield +1/+1 counters. Pretty awesome deck. I'm really excited. Shout out to Aether Llama who built this deck and sent me a whole host of decks to try at the beginning of the format. Huge shout out to them. Really cool decks they're submitting. I'm going to play most of them, maybe not all of them, depending on other submissions and like other brews I want to get going on the channel. But really cool submissions, awesome deck, and I'll see you on the ladder. Alrighty, we're going first here, and yeah, this is on the draw or on the play. I guess you want a nice value and it does a lot of things, or I guess not really value, it's nice curve, I guess I would say, and this curve it's pretty powerful. So we're just gonna Evolving Adaptive, Beastcaller, that kind of thing. Guardian of Nubenalia, okay. Well, I definitely don't think we're blocking, so worth attacking. I don't think it is. I don't want to die to the Guardian of Nubenalia here just for free. See what they do here as far as the enlist. You can enlist with the recruitment officer. Okay, that's fine. It's the 4 power rolling. See where they scry. 1 top, 1 bottom. All right. Don't think we'll block. See what they play here. An officer. Okay. Anything else? No. Alright, Kodama time. Attack with both. Try to get some ramp rolling so I can play both of these next turn. Hopefully draw a nice spell. Not sure what just went on there. Wow. Surge of Salvation. Unit permits you control gain hexproof till end of turn. Prevent all damage that black one or red source sources would deal to creatures you control this turn. Yeah, that's interesting card to have in your deck. But I'll take a win. GG's. Alrighty, I'm going first. And Yeah, this looks like keepable hands. A little bit of Skrelv and a Botanical Brawler and a Bloated Contaminator. Not like the strongest hand, but definitely keepable. What our opponent is up to over there. Got a nice little Lotus. You keep. Okay, so we're just going to Brawler it up. And I don't think it's really that important that I keep the Skrelv up this turn. If you want to kill my Botanical Brawler, you know, whatever. Companion, sure. Back for 2. That's the turn. Opponent probably is going to have a Wandering Emperor on turn 4, which is a little tough. But I do have the Skrelv, so that should help me a little bit. I just need to not get my... Skrelv hit by a removal spell here. Don't know if I can beat a Wrath anyway, based on how this is going, so I'm just going like this. Playing all my creatures out. That's the turn. I misspoke earlier when I said the Evolving Adapter gets +1/+1 counters, but it gets oil counters, obviously, not +1/+1 counters. See if they just have a Wandering Emperor or what. This Union of the Third Path probably seems like a Wrath deck, but maybe not. Everybody but the Skrelv coming in. The Wandering Emperor I'll protect. Okay, it's got Trample. Good to Proliferate. I don't need to do anything to make my creatures any bigger, or play any more creatures. My creatures are plenty big at this point. You need the Third Path again. They're just trying to survive long enough to hit a Farewell. We're just trying to find it to populate. Interesting. That's the pressure you put on decks with this deck here. You just really pile on the pressure. Sometimes they fold. GG's. All right, here we go. No white mana, but we have the Bushwhack to get it, so I think we'll keep. Probably going to have a stinker of a turn 2, but we'll make it work. Run on mono red, okay. No blocks for me. Oh, okay, I'll take that actually. Get a plains. Yeah, I'm not blocking, so might as well attack. Next turn I have the Kadama, grow both of these, attack with 2, get a big swing in land, ramp capabilities. Do I have any way to kill my other Evolving Adaptive? Attack here. Get another land. Probably another white land, so I have the choice. With the Clay Champion or the Botanical Brawler and the Invasion. Do they have any dragons in their hands? They do, okay. Kodama coming down then. Back in the battle, okay. Sure. They're gonna get a 4/4 flying trampler, probably, out of this Thundermaw. Or I could make them pay 2 more with the invasion. Kinda like that. Yeah, let's see what's going on with their hand in the invasion. Feldon and Devastator. Okay, take the Devastator, make them pay 2 more for that. Use the Bushwhack to get another land. Do I need it for fighting? I need it to fight. Pass the turn. Need to guard this invasion for a while. It'll land into Feldon, okay. They drew a spell, I think they attack with both. Didn't, so just here. Lock with the adaptive. See what they hit with the Feldon. It was Lightning Strike, or it was Play with Fire and Mr. Foundry. Yeah, Play with Fire is pretty good. Here's our Botanical Brawler out. And an Epicure, okay. Guess I'm just making a 5/5. Not quite an 8/8, but not a lot I can do about that. Gonna play the Devastator and almost kill Invasion. They do that. Well, I guess they can fully kill the Invasion if they attack with everything. Okay. That's fair. Alright. If I draw a land, I can Clay Champion and Bushwhack with a Thundermaw. I don't draw the land, so I think I'm just going to kill the Thundermaw. Definitely need to get rid of that Thundermaw. Do I want to kill the Invasion? Well, I'm only going to save 1 damage by not doing it, so I could attack them too. But it's probably better to do it like this. Makes this a 7/7. Pretty big, obviously, so. Now a land isn't bad either. Okay, that doesn't have haste, so sorry, opponent. Not gonna get what you want. Now I can't tap for mana either this turn. Rid of a Mishra's Foundry. It is a land, but it's not terrible. Now they can't block the Mishra's Foundry. Yep, getting in with their 3 damage. In my turn. That Doomscar Warrior. He's pretty good. Target the Clay Champion with a backup 1. One has flooded out greatly here. It's unfortunate for them. Now they should be dead in 2-turn clock. I can grab any card here. A lot of options. Probably just a bloated Contaminator. I could take a Razor Rouge Thicket. Doesn't really seem to do much. A bloated Contaminator. Just a big creature. Our opponent, One is another invasion of Tarkir. Okay, GG's. I thought I still saw it had trample on it. I was wondering how that happened. But yeah, opponent was gonna have to leave stuff back. They were gonna start hemorrhaging creatures. And that's GG's. On to the next one. Alrighty, opponent's going first. I'll keep this though. Question is, I think I'm going to Evolving Adaptive on turn 1. Or do I Skrelv on turn 1? I think I Evolving Adaptive on turn 1. Turn 2, the plan is going to be to Bushwhack and Skrelv. But on the off chance I draw an untapped land here, I'll just play the Beast Caller. Adversary coming in. Looks a brush land painful. Get an island or a plains in this case. I can play the Skrelv. That's the turn. Next turn, probably want to be mana efficient with this Simulacrum. Make my Evolving Adaptive a 4/4. They let me untap with the Skrelv. I can't kill it. It probably means they're going to kill the Skrelv. Now the question is, are they also going to kill the Adaptive or not? This is probably going to be a 2-mana 4/4. Pretty good. I guess I'll make my own 4/4. And plan to block. Not ideal, but I suppose that's what we're doing. And they do not have their 4/4. Alright, I'll block like this. So they probably have Blazing Crescendo here. If they have Blazing Crescendo, means I have no good blocks. It's gonna be a 5/3. It's +3/+1, right? So I'm gonna, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's +3/+1. I'm gonna Google it real quick. Yeah, +3/+1. Okay. So that's almost assuredly what they have. So just trade the Evolving Adapt with that. They also get another card. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna not block. A weird attack. Unless if they don't have Blazing Crescendo. You wouldn't just offer this up with my 2/1 on the board. So I gotta imagine that's what it is. They don't use it, okay. Bushwhack. I gotta get more lands so I can start doing stuff with 4 mana. Gotta get a forest here. Play the Contaminator. Pass the turn, I think. Lightning Strike, okay. Koth.
When this war is over, we will finally rest.
Sure.
Mirrodin,
Now they attack with both. Maybe they just had a Lightning Strike or something last turn and not the Blazing Crescendo. Question is, do I want to trigger this Cliff Stomper or not? Probably have to. And they just get to Koth a bunch of times. Guess I'm gonna ride it out and see what happens. I think I'm gonna lead on this invasion. See what's going on over there. Jaya and Lightning Strike. I think I can beat Jaya. Gotta kill this Koth.
More losses.
Now I think I'm just gonna block with a Beast Caller. Wouldn't know they have to block. You could also just Lightning Strike my Beast Caller. It's definitely an option to them. If they do play with fire, I'm dead. Okay. If there's any way to deal 1 damage, I'm gonna die. Or if that had been a mountain. Yeah, I guess that was not my best play. If that had been a mountain, I was gone too. What did they draw? But they could play there. Stoke the flames, maybe? Whatever it is, it probably means we're dead. I'm gonna pass and try to block with the adaptive. If they had a mountain last turn, they should have just used it. Now they're gonna kill the adaptive. Yeah, that's a rough spot to be in. Gotta block. Yeah, we just got taken apart in this game. Make a big creature, I suppose. Can't even cast that. I just have to cast for... I just have to cast for green. Cast like this. Pass the turn. Another mountain means we trade, but is what it's gonna have to be. Possible, yeah. Maybe I should just trade with that Cliff Stomper.
I'll never forget the home we lost.
Earlier. Probably. Very unfortunate sizing on a few different key turns here. Yep. GG's, yeah. Kinda got run out of that one. Ugh. Tough outing. Alrighty, we're going first. And I'll keep this. A little bit of bushwhack energy. Although I think, yeah, we're definitely going to lead on the evolving adaptive on turn 1. And then the Ozilith and then the bloated contaminator. Well, the thing with the Ozilith is it doesn't help the evolving adaptive out. So I think I'm actually just going to go get a forest here. Just guarantee that I can cast my Bloated Contaminator on turn 3 and hopefully find some +1/+1 counter synergy. Yeah, if this was +1/+1 counters instead of oil counters, it would be such a different card in this deck. I think you still have to play it just because, but it would be a lot better. Okay, well, I think we're just gonna run Beast Caller and a Bloated Contaminator. And then Ozilith. Yep, shooting it down. Getting in with a 2/2. Contaminator time. What they play here? Liliana, yikes. That is not good for us at all. Alright, well, we're going to Evolving Adaptive and Bloated Contaminator next turn. Then we can have Ozilith and add a counter. We have stuff to do. We have ways to fight back. What do they have here? If it's like a Phyrexian Obliterator or something, we just can't win. Okay, Trespasser. We can beat that. Certainly. Gotta get rid of this Brawler, I think.
We all have things we'd rather.
Orbit Opportunist. Okay. Man. I want to get the Beast Collar going, but I kind of feel like we have to Ozilith here. Get rid of that Liliana. And yeah, I think that's what we're doing. Attacking the Liliana. Good double block and save it. Doesn't really make any sense to me. They didn't have the 4th land, so they could still have Sheldred. They could still have Phyrexian Obliterator. Both of those things probably lock this game out for us. That is sort of the downside of playing this style of deck, is you know, those are strategies you're weak to. The opponent is definitely very much considering double blocking, seemingly. Keep the Liliana alive. In the end, didn't want to. If they hit a land and a Sheldred, they'll be pretty happy they didn't. See what they do. Could just evolve Sleeper into a 3/3. Doesn't sound like the best play, but gives it Death Touch, and honestly, that is going to be pretty hard for us to manage. Another Trespasser, okay. No attacks. Interesting. I think I can attack here. They want to double block. I think that's fine. 2 for 1. Get to grow our creatures every turn. We have 4 green for a Clay Champion to get pretty big. Okay, just leveled it up. Okay, I'm just gonna level up this Evolving Adaptive. Okay, they didn't have a cut down for me there, at least. I'm gonna trade one of them here. Probably gonna eat the Adaptive if I had to guess. Otherwise, you get the Beast Collar giving the counters away. Yep. And it's very likely our opponent is just stuck in hand with a bunch of... Yeah, that was my mistake. I should have played that first. Oops. Yeah, that was my mistake. Should have given that to them first. I should have played that first and then attacked. Okay, they found land. Probably Obliterator or Sheldred time. Just Bankbuster. I was really waiting for something bad to happen on turn 4. This probably means that they have Invoke Despairs in hand. It's got to be something clogging up their hands. They're going to use this to kill now. They're going to hope to draw a land for Invoke Despair. We're going to get to Skrelv. We're also going to pump up a big Beast Collar. And if our opponent just casts Invoke Despair, it's not going to kill us. So now they got to look for a removal spell for the Beast Collar, but them can shift all the +1/+1 counters to Skrelv. They need, like... Okay, they can't find it. GG's, yeah. Tight game. I really thought we were dead in that game. Wow. GG's. I'll take it. Big interesting victory. Let's hit the wrap up of the deck. Alrighty, we're back with the wrap up for Ozilith counters, and this deck is in a very interesting spot. I feel like in the metagame, it's a deck that I feel like you're a little bit bigger than the fastest aggro decks, but at your core, you're an aggro deck, and you're kind of just. I feel like you could potentially fall wayside to the I'm just slower than the regular aggro deck kind of phenomenon. But I think this deck actually has a key advantage in that the sizing of its creatures are all pretty big. And so that means I feel like similar to the Soldiers deck, who can just provide, create a wide battlefield of big creatures. I kind of feel like you can do the same thing with this deck and occupy part of that metagame share. We can just have a wide variety of big creatures. I do think you'll probably need to find the best ways to do it, the best 1-drops to do it. Evolving Adaptive, if it was a +1/+1 counter engine, would make this deck a lot bigger, a lot better, but it's a oil counter engine. You have 2 2-drops that are pretty good with the Beast Caller and the Botanical Brawler. You also have Gala Greeters you could use in that spot as well to give you some treasures and some other stuff like that. And there are other 3-drops you could use. Siege Veteran, the one from Soldiers that puts +1/+1 counter on something every turn, you could definitely use. There's definitely a lot that goes on this deck, a lot that is interesting about playing this deck. And I think there are other ways you can improve this deck with existing cards or new cards of the format too. I think it's called Dusk Legion Duelist. It's the 2-mana 2/2 that you can draw a card whenever a +1/+1 counter gets on it. That card is really good with the Ozilith and can be good in a shell. So if you pay out the Siege Veteran, now we're talking. If you add more Wandering Emperor, you get more +1/+1 counters there. New Archangel Elspeth has some +1/+1 counter synergies, which you could investigate as well. I think it's really cool. This deck has a bunch of different options with which to build decks with. I'm really excited to see where it'll turn out in the future, how it'll shake out. But really cool and interesting deck. A lot of different ways to go. I do like this build. I think if you had all the available cards in the format, you could tweak it here, tweak it there, change it up. And I'm excited to see what y'all do with it in the comments. See if there's anything, any specific cards you would also suggest other than the ones I've named here. So, alrighty. Thanks for watching, and as always, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.